Hi, in this video I want to talk to you about a topic that can have profound improvements in your health overall. And it may at first glance seem very boring. It's water, but please stay tuned because this can have significant improvements in your health, especially your digestion. Hi, it's Dr. Joe with 2 Minutes to Better Health. So, water. We've all heard it before. Drink about half your body weight of ounces per day. All that stuff is great. But today I'm not going to talk to you about the quantity of water you should drink, but it's when you should not drink water. Because the majority of people do drink a fair amount of water. I ask them that all the time, but when do you drink it? Okay, so in the comment section below, please put when you think the worst time of the day to drink water is. Got a few more seconds? All right, time's up. A lot of people might say at night right before you go to bed because if you do that, it's going to keep you up all night. Well, it's probably not a good idea, but it's not the worst time. Okay, it may be disturbing, but not the worst time. The absolute worst time for you to consume lots of water is during your meals. Now, why is that important? Okay, most people sit around with their family, their friends, whenever they're eating, and they have a big glass of water or whatever beverage it is. This is not just about water, but if you have soda or something else, it's worse. The same thing. Don't drink a lot of that with your meals because ultimately your stomach requires very strong acid in it to break down, especially proteins and complex carbohydrates. And if you don't have sufficient pH for that to occur, ultimately your pH in your stomach should be close to that of almost battery acid. If you look on a pH scale from 0 to 14, water is right in the middle at 7. Battery acid is close to 0. Stomach acid is at 1.5 to 3, which basically means our stomach is closer to that of battery acid with a pH than it is to water. So if you put water in with your meal while you're eating your food, you're going to dilute your stomach acid. Now, why is that important? Maybe your body can make more. It only has so much that it can make in a short period of time. So if you're trying to digest that food, the proteins don't break down well. Those complex carbohydrates don't break down well. So they leave the stomach undigested and they get into the small intestines. It tries to do its best job there and then it gets into the large intestines. The problem with that is that by the time it gets to the large intestines, those foods that are not broken down, especially the proteins, start to rot. They call it putrefaction. Sounds like a gross word, which is very bad. So those proteins that are rotting would be like leaving chicken out on your counter for 2 days and then coming in your house and it would smell atrocious. Well, when that's hitting your lower intestines and not digesting properly, it causes all sorts of health imbalances. The bacteria in your colon, instead of being good, healthy bacteria like probiotics, is unhealthy and it creates gases and belching and all sorts of unhealthy habits. So a lot of people that have gastroesophageal reflux disorder or GERD or acid reflux they call it, in large part it's because that stomach acid needs to be at a certain pH in order for a valve that's right in the lower part of your esophagus to close after you eat. Okay, it's kind of like if you're boiling water and you put a pot on it, that water doesn't spill all over around it. Well, your stomach acid can digest, at a great pH, but when it gets into your upper chest area, it can be very damaging. So if that valve closes after you eat your food, then it's safe to do so. But if that pH doesn't get low enough, because maybe the pH has been raised by too much water or other fluids, then your food will basically sit there trying to digest. That acid is kicking up into your chest. People are burping and belching and having all sorts of problems. So they take antacids, which further cuts the stomach acid, causing the overall digestive process to get far worse. So long story short, drink lots of water, but try to avoid drinking, any with your meal, or maybe just a few sips to wash down some of that. But 15 minutes before the meal is a good cutoff, and about an hour or so after is when you can start drinking that again. But please do that. It can have major, profound improvements. Many people struggle with major health issues and take all sorts of medications simply because they drink way too much fluid with their meals. So again, please share this with friends and family because this simple tip may make major health improvements for you and obviously for them. And please stay tuned for future videos of 2 Minutes to Better Health. Look forward to seeing you then. Take care.